What's going on?
Arik, why don't you fill her in?
Our plan worked. The Eye is mobilizing the scouts for a large-scale attack on the Surgeborn.
I take it the Axle and the Spindle put him up to this?
Yes. Not that Khan Stanild is admitting that. He claims that with the supply shortage taken care of and the Ark restoration underway, now is the time to strike.
And Bryn is receiving due credit for all her work, I'm sure.
So what's his plan?
The scouts will stage a distraction in the underworks, while the Eye and the Spindle do something to the Grand Gate. That's all I know. The Eye wants everyone to convene at Cassidon's Hold for a speech to learn more.
He wants us there.
Khan Stanild loves an audience. Doesn't matter who's in it.
I thought you'd be happier about all this.
I have reservations about the Eye launching a plan using my scouts without consulting me.
The reality is, the leader of the Enclave has the power and influence we need to take a stand against the Surgeborn, regardless of how likable the man holding the title may be.
Power and influence, sure, but not the expertise.
We've faced down Surgeborn and monsters, repaired lost innovations, and even won over the grumpiest of guild leaders. We're ready for anything, no matter what happens.
It can't hurt to hear his big speech before jumping to conclusions.
I'm here to escort you. Talk to me when you're ready.
It sounds like your experiment with the loom gates went well.
With the Axle and the Spindle? Yeah, it turned out better than we could have hoped.
That's good news.
Are you worried about something?
Worried? No. Holding the infinite weave of possibilities in my mind. Yes. Do you think the resonance modulator could be used to keep certain kinds of people out of the Loomgate network too?
I'm really not sure. What makes you think about that?
I believe that the Eye would lock us out if he could. He loathes us. He loathes me. If he has the means to hinder us, he'll use them. And we've just handed those means to his daughter.
Well, you haven't had a chance to talk to Isla yet. She definitely wouldn't let that happen. At the very least, she'd give us a heads up. Why don't you talk to her sometime? I think you'd get along.
I suppose I should, yes. After my next round of experiments, perhaps. Speaking of, I should really get back to it. I'm glad to hear that all is not doomed, too. Thanks.
Not a problem.
stirred up quite a bit of trouble.
Oh?
I've just read the brief from the last council meeting. The Eye is facing united opposition. Everyone's calling for him to make a move against the Surgeborn. Keep your weapons close, Bryn. Ready to head to Cassidon's Hold?
Still need more time.
I'm here when you're ready. Don't take too long. Ready to head to Cassidon's Hold?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Great. Hey, while it's just the two of us, I'll be deploying to the Underworks almost immediately after we arrive. Watch Khan Stanild for me, will you? I know Aurea wants you to give him a chance, but he can't be trusted.
I'm always ready for anything, Eric.
I know. Let's move.
Decades of caution have been rewarded, friends. For this moment, and not one sooner, is the precise time to strike. Today, we wrangle our lands free from the Surgeborn's grasp and reclaim our hearth once more, whatever it takes. None of this could be possible without the esteemed prowess of the Spindle. Her work on the Arcs has laid the foundation for my plan. She and I will proceed to the Grand Gate at once. Scouts, you have your orders. It's time. Whatever it takes.
Rin, you need to come with me.
Now?
Yeah, no time to explain. And Aurea, you should get on the scry.
All right. Whatever you need.
Let's go. Sev, I know you said there's no time to explain, but want to give me a clue as to where we're going?
So, obviously I've been working with the Eye. And well, he had me repair the Grand Gate. It's connected to this place called the Source, and I guess that's where the Surgeborn came from. He's got this plan to go there and solve this problem once and for all.
Right. I heard that part of his speech already. What does this have to do with us sprinting like an Ash-Peak Drake is on our heels?
So there's, it's better if I just show you.
Perfect. As punctual as you are daring.
Sev, what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, don't blame him. He's merely a puppet. Ironic, given I'm the one all tangled up.
So you can talk?
Of course. Only language could allow me to prey upon Kenrick's exquisite inadequacies.
You've been talking to the Eye? Manipulating him?
Into a foolhardy and preposterous plan that only an absolute imbecile could think was worth pursuing, yes. I've been down here for years, laying groundwork and learning what I could about your people. All towards a moment when I could convince Kenrick to act. I almost despaired he ever would. And then, along comes you.
Me?
Oh yes. Kenrick is threatened by you. Terrified, even. In your brief time inside the Veil, you've accomplished so much more than he has in decades. Not that that's saying much. Still, you are the perfect catalyst for change. We have that in common, as you will discover in time. So now, he's going to open a gate to the heart of the Enclave, convinced he can recover it from us. And the one person I worry might be able to stop us is here, talking to me. You're fast, but even you can't run to the rescue now.
You've thought of everything. Except, why tell me all this?
Because you're too late to stop us. And even if you weren't, no one would believe you.
Sure. Unless they were listening.
Quit taunting it, Bryn. You've got work to do.
Isla, we must retreat!
No! I'm staying to fix this. Do whatever you can to buy me time. Bryn is seriously about to take that thing.
The spindle told her to buy time.
So I hope it doesn't take too long.
Keep going for much longer.
She needs to.
seriously about to fight that thing?
The spindle told her to bide time.
Let's hope Hyla doesn't take too long.
Bren is seriously about to fight that thing.
The spindle told her to bide time.
Let's hope Hyla doesn't take too long.
seriously about to fight that thing?
The spindle told her to bide time.
Let's hope Pilot doesn't take too long. Keep going, Bryn! I need more time!
She can't be.
What? What's she doing to the Ark?
Hopefully not what I think she is.
Whatever it takes.
Spirits. Okay. Weavers have always dealt with problems like this. Well, not just like this, but yeah. We'll figure it out. Aurea, she'll know what to do.
I know you're not one to shy away from a fight, but you should have known better than to go toe-to-toe with that thing.
Casmin, I'm all right.
That's not the point, Bryn. I was really scared.
I know.
I know I should be better about this, but I can't lose you. Not after we finally...
I'm not going anywhere. I promise.
Good. Dom would be beside himself if something happened to you.
Uh-huh. I don't know what I'd do without Dom, either.
You're staring. What's got you in such a good mood?
What? I can't admire my gorgeous girlfriend.
You can. But none of this showing up here just to look at me with love in your eyes. That's too mushy. especially in front of Arya. At least come up with something clever to talk about.
Tell me about yourself, then. What's the happiest memory from your childhood?
It rained a lot in Dunbrennig, so we didn't do this often. But on the rare sunny days, my mum took me to the beach. We'd both bring books and blankets to spend the day reading on the hot sandy coastline.
That sounds lovely.
It was.
Are you worried that Arya won't approve of us?
No, she thinks it's cute.
Then why are you worried about her seeing us be cute?
It's not just her, it's everyone. You make me so happy. And I guess I'm afraid that if everyone sees how happy I am around you, then they'll know how devastated I'll be if it doesn't work out. This is still really new. Is it bad if I need to take things slow before I can parade our cuteness around the camp?
Of course not. But just so you know, you make me incredibly happy too. If I have my way, this will totally work out.
That's reassuring.
So, if being mushy around the caravan isn't ideal, tell me what you'd like to do when we have some downtime.
I'd love to. It's dumb.
Now you have to tell me.
Stargazing. When I worked the shipping lanes, I learned a lot about navigation by the stars. Maybe it'd be fun to... I don't know.
Kaz, nothing would make me happier than a date by starlight with you.
Oh, I think it would be so peaceful.
Sure. I can find something to talk about. Ah! What made you fall head over heels for me?
Subtle. I guess I believe that the best thing you can do with your life is be in service of others. And that's what you embody. As a friend, as a point, as a leader. Yet, somehow you do it without burning out or putting others above yourself in an unhealthy way. That's very attractive.
That's what draws me to you. How caring you are. And more importantly, how you're learning to turn that care in towards yourself.
I'm trying, at least. I like that you noticed.
Unfortunately, your adorable face has left me speechless.
Oh, gods. I'll meet you in your tent later. You can stare all you like then.
Looking forward to it.
Bryn, I cannot fathom how you must have felt in that fight against the Surgeborn.
As strange as it is to say, I had the easy part.
Yes. The tragedy about Isla. So much talent lost, wasted even. I can't stop rolling what you said before we went to Cassidy's around in my head.
About how we were ready for anything. Kind of ironic now.
Yes. Quite. Though I cannot fathom who would have been ready for that. But your point was well made. We have overcome so much in this place, where others might have rolled over and given up. In moments of despair, the deep night, when most of you are asleep and the world comes alive, I keep thinking about it. We're ready for anything. You know, I believe we are. Isla sacrificed everything for us.
Still can't believe she's gone.
Her death could have been prevented if... Never mind. I can't even go there right now.
Hey, Eric. I'm so sorry for your loss. How are you holding up after everything?
Thank you, but I don't think you want the real answer to that question.
I really do. You look like a pot about to boil over, and your people need you focused. So let me have it.
I knew Kenrick Stanold was incompetent, but this... I didn't think he was capable of this. He deploys my entire team, spreads us thin on no information. A plan that requires utmost secrecy, he called it, swearing we would be given what we needed to know when the time was right. And then, nothing. A big speech, empty promises of victory, and the dawning realization among my team that we were a distraction. Meaningless forces to draw the Surgeborn's attention. And at that, we succeeded. While Kenrick, goddamn Stanold, ran for his life, they descended on my people like vultures swarming a corpse. Good people died because of that man. Good people will carry scars because of that man. It should have been him.
The bar I'd set for my expectations of him was low. Subterranean. You would have to plumb tremendous depths to even glimpse it. And yet, I never would have expected him to stoop quite so low as he did at the Grand Gate.
Hey, Lane. How are you holding up?
I'm... fine. Just coming down from the stress of all this. I was... a bit worried about you, I'll admit. Are you all right?
Thanks for the concern. A little sore today, but no lasting injuries.
Good. Good.
Are you sure you're fine?
Yes. Just ruminating on the numerous disastrous failures that led to this. Not by us, but...
We'd all love to predict the future. But smart as you are, even you can't do that.
Isla would still be here if I could.
I know. She saved us all.
Scholars rarely agree on much. But if there's one philosophy many of us share, it's that we must understand our past to build better futures. Maybe I couldn't have prevented this tragedy, but I can't help but mine the past for clues of what was to come. If only to stop it from ever happening again.
Hey.
Hey.
How do you feel?
Okay now, but it was touch and go for a while. Lane will probably never forgive me. For that matter, I might not either.
I knew that fight. The spindle, giving her life like that. It'd be on your mind all night. How could it not? And I've been mulling over what to tell you this morning. I had a speech planned, but you don't need a speech. You're like me. It'd ring false. So I'm going to tell you what I'd need to hear after something like that. You did good. It was an awful situation, but you stood up and did what needed to be done without hesitating. Not many people have that kind of grit.
I can't shake the feeling that if I had done something more, the spindle would still be with us.
She made her choices same as you. She was a weaver, and we do whatever it takes. Look, I know you, Bryn. You're made of stern stuff. You've the mountains in your bones. Any sense of doubt or being shaken is just snowfall. Temporary, and it'll slide off soon.
That was the part you practiced, right?
Yes. But that doesn't make it less true.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on what we do next? We obviously need to deal with that beast. But where to start?
We need to get everyone together. Our band, Arakim too. And I want you to call the meeting.
Me?
Yes, you.
Do you know what's amazing?
Tell me.
Digging into the past and salvaging relics that change your understanding of everything we do. Maybe this is old hat for you, because you've been free to do it for so long.
I haven't been doing it that long, but I can't imagine it will ever get old.
Well, good. So, our relics of the day are those scries we recovered, which work very much like yours. Which demolishes my original bet on ours having been affected by this surge somehow. My best guess now is that they're working so well because they were packed up so tight. I floated the idea with Dharm and he was pretty into it. Want to join me in following up?
Oh, don't need me to do the asking this time?
No. I'm getting the hang of this.
It's good you're here, Bryn. We have a mystery to solve.
A scrinundrum. Ah, no, that doesn't work.
Scriddle?
Ah, damn it. That's so much better.
You two are fun. To business, though, what we need to really work on the scries is a new set of the tools I use to maintain ours.
Do you not have them?
Lost in our mad dash through the veil. I hadn't felt the urgent need to replace them just yet, but if we're to compare and contrast our three classes of scry, we'll need them.
We haven't needed these tools until now?
Like most Enclave enchantments, the scries are incredibly durable. I normally maintain ours every few months. We had more pressing matters at hand, until this mystery reared its head.
What exactly do these tools involve?
They are so very fiddly. Small optics for examining the casing, tiny enchanted ones to target the patterns that form the images and keep the sound clear. That sort of thing. Like tuning an instrument.
Could we not borrow some from Arek's people?
I tried. I would consider their tools insufficient to our needs.
He's saying they're bad.
I'm saying they're bad, but politely.
This is usually the part where I find myself wrestling a giant lizard or something. So you might as well just tell me now.
Bryn, you never fail to cut to the heart of the matter, but I have good tidings. We need you to pick a flower.
A flower? That's it?
Not quite. It's from a plant renowned for its magical sensitivity called Mirian's Bloom.
And the tricky part, Dom was telling me, is that it can't be moved via any kind of teleportation. No loom gates and such.
Indeed, and complicating matters, it withers very quickly once picked. Lane and I can stabilize it, but we'll need our workstations here to do so, which means...
I'm going to have to run.
Pretty much. Sorry about that.
I'll just stretch extra. Do we know where I can find some?
Yes, in the swamp not too far from here, on the other side of the hollow.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm going to let Arik power the scry for your run with the Bloom Grin.
Appreciate it, Aurea.
You could use the practice.
Here goes.
Good. Now move. We'll be ready. Good progress, Bryn. Smooth and steady.
It's looking a bit off.
It's normal. Just keep moving and you'll be fine.
The bloom's definitely a bit dry looking.
This is a challenging distance to cover. Just keep at it.
This flower is not looking good, folks.
Big push.
Ah, it's basically crumbling to dust.
The danger of highly volatile magical flowers, I'm afraid. Thankfully, there will be more.
She's got this.
Did we?
Yes. Oh, we're good. Excellent work, everyone. We'll get this over to Solar, Bryn. She'll be ready for you whenever.
Okay, let's take that again. I'm sorry. I needed a moment to step back and refocus after going off about Stanild. I think, okay now.
I'm impressed. Not everyone can pull themselves out of that kind of anger.
A hard-won skill. When I first made head of the Scouts, Stanild did everything he could to undercut me. His favorite trick was poking and prodding until I lost my cool. Always worked.
You've seemed pretty together around him when I've been there.
Yeah. I started practicing Valanshir.
What's that?
The intersection between meditation, bare-hand combat, and breathing exercises. There's a complete series of whole-body motions, painfully slow, moving from pose to pose while controlling your breathing. But at the end, just before you reach the final pose, you explode into the final position, usually exhaling hard like, ha!
And that helps.
Oh yeah. It's a solid workout controlling your motions, but the real struggle is the mental focus, which can be exhausting, but after a few months of practice, it's like being able to slide into that calm headspace on command. A few deep breaths and Stanild can't touch me. Well, except when he puts my people in danger with his ego.
My mum used to say I could use some impulse control. Maybe I should get some lessons from you. And again, I'm truly sorry to hear about the losses. We'll make their sacrifices meaningful.
Yes, we will. Whatever it takes. Bryn, have I ever told you you're a genuinely impressive person?
Thanks. What brought that on?
Oria told me the story about you joining the band. Sounds like your last one was awful, but you stuck with it.
In comparison, joining Oria's group was like that first nice day after a brutal winter.
That's probably more relatable if I grew up in a mountain pass, huh?
No feeling like it. Temperatures that would have felt awful in autumn feel like a summer's day. And there's this endless, soft, watery trickle of everything melting.
Sounds incredible. Think you'll go back?
That's an academic question. We've got no way out. But I'd like to stay a while. If things ever calm down. Perhaps explore this place more.
So long as you're sure you'd be happy.
It's where my head's at, for the moment. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Entirely reasonable. You have a long road ahead of you before that becomes a pressing question.
You're going to speak to the Talon?
I don't expect to get much out of it, but yes.
Be careful. Clearly the Talon was able to manipulate Kenrick. And while I know you're not the idiot he is, speaking to that thing is risky.
I just have to find out what I can. If the Talon has any insight that can help us.
It's a risk worth taking, I know. Just don't reveal anything in the process.
You certainly wear emergency powers of authority. Ridiculous! The Stanilds have been receiving the Rite of Ashes at the Hallowpire Rise for generations. That Hiram doesn't want to send a mourning party is an insult to her memory.
That's not fair. You know Khan Arteme would love to give Isla.
Don't say her name.
All I'm saying is the Axel lost someone too. You don't need to make this harder on her.
And who, pray tell, is working to ease my pain? The answer is in the silence. No one.
Before you ask, the answer is maybe.
About the scries? You know?
Of course I know. In this role, I can't afford to be oblivious to one of my colleagues sneaking about. And while well-meaning, Arakim is about as stealthy as a glass tail on rice paper. Which brings me to my question. The answer will tip me from maybe to yes or no. Why are you here and not him?
Khan Arteme, you know Kenrick's temper as well as anyone. How many times did Arakim get punished for daring to step out of line? He has incredible intentions, and will do anything to help your people. But you need to build his trust and confidence.
Let me come again to the point. Why you, and not Arakim?
Honestly, I don't think he knows how to ask.
It's as simple as him asking me. I am not Stanild.
No, but you have to prove that to Arik as much as he has to prove himself to you. That was the lesson I learned from Oria. The best leaders are mentors and meet their people halfway. That's what Arik needs from you.
An interesting point. I suppose he did not receive much support. Well, ever. Very well. You have my approval. I shall be watching very closely to see how this proceeds. And fair winds. I hope you can find your answers. I just wish Isla were here to help.
You mentioned you were in charge. Does that mean you're the new Eye now?
So the council is larger than just the 3 main representatives. As you heard, we convened and unanimously agreed that Kenrick had overstayed his welcome in the role of the Eye. So he's been stripped of that, and by default, that means I'm in charge. Emergency authority. Am I the Eye? No. And nor do I particularly want to be right now. But when the time is right to hold elections, we'll do so. We need to break this cycle.
What cycle do you mean?
Council seats weren't permanent before the surge. That idea was Kenrick's. And it's clearly not worked out for us. So again, once we've solved this crisis, we'll chart a new path. Assuming we survive. After all, we could all be dead this time next week.
I knew you'd be back. Dreadfully predictable.
And here I thought I surprised you. Or was your herald getting kicked back to the source part of the plan?
Don't steal credit. Your great icon pushed us back, not you. And I'm quite certain it didn't survive the battle. Judging by the way you charged straight to the Grand Gate upon hearing my plan, you favor misguided heroics. Let me guess. You're going to try for a rematch.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Let's not lie to each other. I like you.
Can't say the feeling's mutual.
Come now, I want to be confidants. Friends, even.
Fine. Let's be friends. Why don't you tell me what the Surgeborn are after so I can help you get it?
I told you, don't lie to me. But because my offer of friendship is genuine, I'll tell you. I'm after the same thing you're after. Magic. And the power that comes with it.
But Surgeborn already wield magic.
Not nearly enough of it. You know the lust for magical power is insatiable. Why else are you risking everything to tear strands of it from behemoths?
I'm not power hungry.
Don't lie. Especially when your actions betray your words with such ease.
How did you end up down here anyway?
I let myself be captured.
Why?
It became apparent that I wasn't going to uncover the secrets behind the Enclave's power by razing its capital to the ground. Oh, I do miss the razing. Still, I needed intel that I could only get from the inside. So I allowed myself to be captured and waited until the leader of the Enclave came to visit me alone one day. Kenrick had influence and insecurities, making him the perfect target. He felt quite special that I only spoke to him. It helped that he assumed our herald couldn't pass through the Grand Gate when he staged his attack.
How did it get through? The resonance modulator should have filtered out Surgeborn.
You didn't have a sample of that particular Surgeborn.
In my experience, Kenrick Stanold isn't exactly the trusting type. How did you convince him to open up to you?
I played the part of his distressed prisoner.
Please, please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you ask. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Just
let me live. He was all too willing to believe I was helpless. After all, that would mean he had power.
The Hearthsiders believe you were born out of the Surge. Is that really where you come from?
I will keep some secrets to myself. For now.
I thought we were friends.
Not yet. But we will be. And when that day comes, I will share more with you.
Kenrick Stanold is in rough shape after being your confidant.
I would never treat you like I treated him. You're different. Special. Trust me. In time, you'll consider us kindred spirits.
Doubt it.
See you soon.
I know everyone's up in their heads right now, but we have real problems to solve. So let's clear the air.
Are you running this discussion, then?
She is.
Sev, this has to start with you. We knew you were working with the Eye. We told you we'd have your back. Help us understand what happened. Just breathe, Sev. Start from the beginning.
I'm sure Bryn and Sola told you all. But I belong to an order called the Norians. We're sometimes called the Watersmiths. Imagine my surprise to learn our talents had been critical to the construction of the tapestry. Our order binds us to always help another Norian. Especially a high-ranking one like Stanild. And to keep their secrets.
So that's how he sunk his claws into you.
Why is the Order so secretive?
We've always been critical to the survival of Taza. Water is life in the desert, and we control the flow of water. The Elders have a secret political chokehold on the kingdoms. The altruistic Norians will tell you the secrecy is so no one can undo our work. But I have my doubts. And so, the Order operates in the shadows. I imagine they were much the same here in the Enclave.
What did Stanild have you doing?
It was all work on repairing the Grand Gate. He'd heard about our success with the gate in the Hollow and felt I might be able to replicate it. Thanks to your help, I was able to do so. And he took me more into his confidence as a result.
Did you leave the Norians to become Sola's apprentice?
One never really leaves the Norians. Not with their life. If word got out about me betraying Stanild, I'd be a dead ram walking. But no. My people have a ritual known as Ram Bralem. It is a time to pursue another path. And Sola was kind enough to accept me for mine.
It's true. I knew it could be temporary, but was hoping you'd stay on after.
The most important thing is whether we can trust you.
Yes, Sev. Convince us.
I swear, nothing I did was intended to cause harm. Too many of my order are political animals. But there is real good to be found among the Norians. Craftspeople who just wish to perfect their art. To bring water to people in need. To experiment, but need the resources to do so. Unfortunately, too many of those resources are controlled by people like Stanild. They're all the same. They see a point of control. Water, information, wealth. And they abuse it. I thought the secrets were a necessary evil. For some great purpose, but seeing his chokehold on the Enclave, it's stagnation. You all have every right to distrust me. I am sorry. No more secrets. I just can't do it anymore.
If you can't be a Norian, then what are you?
If you'd have me, I'd like to stay.
Those of us who have been here longer than Sev. Thoughts?
It's hard to have divided loyalties. But you did the right thing in the end, and if you hadn't, we might all be dead. That takes courage.
Still wasn't quick enough.
I don't know what to make of any of this. I want to believe you, but it's hard in the uncertainty surrounding us.
When I was going through it, you all pulled together to help me.
You are all heard. And I would add that you joined us under false pretenses, Sev. You had loyalties outside the band you never disclosed.
I have a hard time accepting that he kept so much from us, but shared so much with the Eye. Who knows what Stanild, or gods help us, the Talon heard about us? Only time will tell how much damage that's done.
Lane, I hear you and I understand. Sev has real work to do to rebuild trust. Only you can decide when the apology feels real to you. Sev, that considered, you have worked tirelessly since joining us, and demonstrated an enterprising spirit and deftness as a smith. And before the blade could completely fall, you risked all by blocking it with your own hand. You can never be a Norian again. I do not sense that you wish to be. And who are the Weavers but a group of outcasts and misfits? Just trying to muddle through together. You will stay. And you will help. We have work to do. Tell us about Stanild's plan.
Thank you, Horia.
I won't dance around it. The situation we face is not good. The Surgeborn are more strategic than we could have imagined. Now, we have no idea what they're planning, but we do know that they can plan. That's our edge. But here's our challenge. That Talon. It spoke. It knew things it couldn't know about us. We're on the back foot and need to catch up fast.
Then let me, as Horia said, help. After I repaired the gate, Stanild took me completely into his confidence. He'd been questioning and learning from the Talon. Or so he thought.
Not realizing he was being manipulated.
He was increasingly estranged from his daughter. I'd wager he was desperate for a friend.
I'd agree. Based on what he'd learned from the Surgeborn from his friend, he put together a plan.
Use my people as a distraction to pull the bulk of the Surgeborn out of the underworks. All while he used the gate to... what?
There is a place, deep, deep underground, known as the Source. A feat of engineering unparalleled. It's the secret to the Enclave's power. The abundance of magic. The heart of the tapestry. The thing powering the Veil. There was only a single loom gate still connected to the Source after Asylum cleared all connections. And I'm the one who repaired it.
The Grand Gate would take him right to the heart of things then.
Exactly.
Stanild thought he could... what? Sneak down there and fix things somehow? Tear down the Veil?
His hope was to go down and secure a working space, sealed off from the distracted Surgeborn. He wanted to eventually fix things with the help of the Spindle. All glory to his family.
That arrogant idiot.
He'd read in his personal archives there was a system designed to shut down the Source. In the hopes of discovering how it worked, he had been feeding information to the Spindle about it in drips.
Meaning she might have been working on a fix for the Source without knowing it.
Then we have to pursue her research, clearly.
Good. But we still have the problem Stanild never saw coming. A great Surgeborn.
Which almost certainly will be unkillable if it operates like every other Surgeborn. It's hard to imagine any place more full of tangles than the literal source of the magic that's overflowing.
On that, I have an idea. If I'm right, we might be able to turn the tables and remove its advantage. I'll need Bryn's help if that's all right with everyone.
Of course. If it gives us a chance, we have to take it.
I agree.
Has anyone just thought to ask the Talon?
What would we ask it? Favorite color? Favorite way to disembowel Ashar?
No, she's right. It has clearly demonstrated an interest in Bryn. Maybe she could pry some information out of it.
I'm not sure I'll get much. But I'm also sure I'm not going to think it's my friend. So, worth exploring?
Then we have a path forward. Sev will pursue his thoughts on dealing with that beast.
My people have started calling it the Herald.
Of destruction? Doom?
Why not both? As I said, people are on edge.
Fine. Sev pursues weakening this Herald. We work with the Axle to look into the Spindle's latest research. And if she feels like it, Bryn has a chat with our imprisoned Surgeborn.
As good a path forward as we are going to find. Let's call it here and get to work. What did we learn about the scries, fellas?
Nothing good, unfortunately.
You know how all enchanted things use woven patterns to achieve their effects yet? Well, the scries used here for decades were warped. There's no other way to describe them.
Some sort of corruption or decay?
Not exactly. More like elements had fused or connected in different ways than were intended by the enchanter.
I take it that's not normal.
Darm's never seen it, and I asked the High Enchanter, and he had never heard of it either.
Even more worrying is that the Myriad's bloom also behaved strangely while we were trying to distill it. Normally there is a very rote set of steps, but it took Lane and I several tries to find the proper alchemic ratios to make it useful.
And then we have the Spitfires, acting more aggressive than normal, nesting in odd places. Putting it all together, we're seeing a worrying pattern of unexplained changes.
Ones that would be hard to notice if a certain band hadn't broken through the veil. We can confirm these changes aren't happening outside the Enclave.
Huh. What do we do about it then?
Darm and I have been talking about it and have some ideas. Give us a little bit of time to see if we can come up with a plan.
I'll leave you to it.